I think you genuinely cannot understate the importance of Cole Palmer in this Chelsea team. That first 20 minutes of that Chelsea-Everton game, there was nothing going on. It was boring, pedestrian, and all of a sudden, Cole Palmer flicks the switch and the game comes to life. First of all, I think I've said this so many times. Watching Chelsea without Cole Palmer has been somewhat of a chore this season. Garnacho threw on goal, missed chance. João Pedro can't trap a ball, can't score, can't do anything productive. Esteval has been generally positive. Pedro Neto, so many positive moments. Final ball, final decision, poor. Enzo Fernandez not really doing anything in the midfield, just kind of moving and walking around. No moments of genuine, consistent quality in this Chelsea team over the course of the season. But when I see Cole Palmer in the team, I think to myself, this is something worth watching. This is something worth looking at. That's no disrespect to the other Chelsea players, but generally, Chelsea fans, like when you watch Chelsea play, what do you enjoy about watching Chelsea play? Like, what is the one thing you look at and you're like, this is so good. Without Cole Palmer playing, what is the one thing that you can? Because I can't find anything. And I love football. I just love watching quality football. But with Chelsea, it's been a struggle at times. But when Cole Palmer gets back into the squad, and I was surprised to see him actually starting. I thought he was still kind of unfit. I thought he had an injury last week. So I was surprised to see him starting. But that moment of quality, Gusto with a great ball. And Gusto, we'll talk about Gusto in a bit. But moment of quality, great pass, and just there was no chance he would miss that finish. There was no chance. You think about other Chelsea players in that position. Do you trust them to finish that? Not really. But with Cole Palmer, it's always you always know it's gonna go in. It's a great goal from him. And then the rest of the half is just you kind of see both teams having decent opportunities. Iliman Ndiaye with the cutback from Jake O'Brien. The cross across the goal from Idrissa Gueye to Barry, and Everton fans are suffering. I think Everton might have the worst striking pair in the Premier League right now. I don't think there's two strikers in the Premier League worse than what Everton have in Barry and Beto. Just two big guys. They don't really use their body. They don't finish. They don't knock the ball off. They don't do anything really. They're just taking up space. Because you have to field 11 players, they have to field one of them, and they're just a net negative. I thought Barry coming in from Villarreal would be much more than he is right now, and it's just nothing. And hopefully he can turn it on and get his career back on track. But the curse of Everton strikers, who was it, Tremiti last season or a couple seasons ago? Seems like Broya. Seems like every striker that goes to Everton just flops. And it's seeming that way now with Barry, so hopefully he can turn it on. But Everton had their chances. Everton had multiple chances in this game, quality chances to score at least one goal. Chelsea also, yes, they had chances as well to score goals as well. But like I said, many videos about Chelsea, it's always a case of when it falls to the likes of Garnacho. Garnacho had a great chance. And I can vividly remember the same chance being missed earlier this month. He runs down the defender, long ball, one-on-one, misses the target. And he did it again today. And it seems every time he gets in that position, it's the same outcome. Poor technique on the finish. It's got to be so frustrating. And then when Gittins comes on, he doesn't really add much else, right? It's really that right side of the Chelsea attack that is producing things. Reece James on that side. Gusto on that side. Neto on that side. Esteban when it comes on that side. Cole Palmer operates mostly on that side. So all of Chelsea's strong attacking football is coming from the right-hand side. You're not seeing enough from the left-hand side. And I don't know who on the left-hand side can kind of take up that mantle and start to produce consistently. Because you see the second goal, it's the exact same thing. It comes again from the right-hand side. Great interchange. Chelsea on the right-hand side, they're just so fluid. It's just such good interchanging, such good movement. And Pedro Neto cuts the ball back. Gusto, I think before this season, had never scored for Chelsea. Had never scored a professional goal in his career. And now you're kind of seeing him goals, assists. In that inverted role, he's performing exceptionally. And I had questions about it last season because I felt this guy can't play. He's not good enough on the ball. He's not tactically, astute enough on the ball. But now you see a proper preseason under Maresca, more reps in that position. Now you're seeing a little bit more from Gusto in that position, and then you have the trust of Reece James and Caicedo when he plays, and they can drop it to that right back, space and kind of cover him. So it's a great kind of fluid. They're kind of using him as a Hakimi light in that Chelsea setup, where he can just bomb into the midfield, can pick up spots the ball in the 8 position, can drive in the right wing position, also goes back to the right back position. He's being really fluid, and he's really showing his tactical awareness that this is one of Maresca's most trusted, valued members of the squad. I didn't expect this level of IQ from, maybe that's just me being naive, not really knowing his game too much from France. But what I've seen this season, wow. Malo Gusto is one of the best right backs in the league this season, without a doubt. I also have to give some credit to Chalobah and Fofana. I always say whenever those two play, Chelsea have a chance to win a game. Whenever it's Tosin and Badiashile or Achimpong or whatever, that's when I feel like Chelsea will concede 1 or 2 goals every game. But with this back line, you can trust them a little bit more. I know Everton should have scored at least 1 goal this game. That's without a doubt. They definitely should have scored at least a goal this game. They performed extremely well up until the final actions. Iliman Ndiaye, wow. Another performance that you just look at him and you say, this guy's too good to be playing at Everton. No disrespect, but players like him need to be playing at top 6 clubs. This is a guy on Spurs' left-hand side with him and Kudus. That would be incredible. That would be a beautiful partnership. Look at him at Aston Villa on that left-hand side. Him, Rodgers, and I don't know who else, McGinn, whoever you want to play. That's a great combination. Him at Newcastle. That's a great, he could be at any of these clubs. And I just feel like Everton is not he's past that level. He needs to be at a bigger club that's challenging for things. Or at least challenging for Europe every single season. From a Chelsea perspective, Gusto and the entire backline, but Gusto especially, man of the match for me. PALMER didn't really do too much, but when you see the moments of quality when he gets in certain positions, it's outstanding. It's brilliant. It's just always right. I don't know how any other way to put it, but it's just always right. It just always feels right when you see PALMER in the box, in the 18-yard box, edge of the box. He just makes the correct decisions most of the time. And then you look at the rest of the Chelsea front line, really the lack of goals from Chelsea is really just a lack of productivity from the front line. Garnacho should have 5 goals more than whatever he has now. At least. João Pedro is the fall off from the Club World Cup early in the season. He's kind of just regressed back into what João Pedro is, what he's been at Watford, what he's been at Brighton, a moment's player, never really consistent. Pedro Neto and Estevao are kind of the ones giving you the most in that front line outside of PALMER. But with those guys fit and firing, Chelsea will always have a chance as long as they have that same back line. Chalobah, Fofana. I know Fofana has his injury issues, but if he can stay fit, wow, he's gonna produce a lot. But from Everton's perspective, this is never really a game you're expected to win. This is one of those games you just go into and hope you can nick a result, get something, and just go home with that. Iliman Ndiaye, again, brilliant against one of the top sides. Always seems to be that Everton player that shows up against these top teams. I think James Garner was great in this game, really driving from the midfield. I think Gay was also great in this game. The midfield of Everton was exceptional in this game. But when it all comes out to you don't have PALMER. And that's really the difference in this game, because he broke the game open. He gave Chelsea that confidence. At 0-0, Chelsea didn't seem confident. They didn't seem fluid at all. But once PALMER breaks through and they get that 1-0 lead, then you start to see them play a little bit more. You start to see them gain a little bit more confidence. And that's what having world-class players in your team does. It just motivates everybody. Once they have a moment of magic, everybody just wakes up. And that's exactly what you saw today. Chelsea fit and firing. If all their players just had half the composure of PALMER, Chelsea would have won this game 4-1, 4-2, whatever. They would score 4 goals. If Garnacho had half the composure of PALMER, if Pedro Neto and João Pedro had half the composure of Cole Palmer, they win this game with ease. It was a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit edgy, but at the end of the day, Chelsea deserved to win this game. And now I think that's 28 points, moving up to third or fourth place. Continue just pushing. You never know when Arsenal might drop points. You never know when City might drop points. They're still in the title race until they're mathematically out of it. I think this is a title race that's more open than it appears to some people. I think some people were thinking it was just Arsenal, Man City. At the beginning, it was just Liverpool, Arsenal. But it's always really three teams until the third team kind of falls off. So until Chelsea fall off, maybe match week 22, 23, 24, that range, I think they're still in it. Arsenal can lose at any point. City can lose at any point. So from Chelsea's perspective, it's a good result with great individual performances here and there. But what they need really on a consistent basis from this Chelsea team is guys that will produce on a consistent basis. Garnacho, do more in the attack. João Pedro, you're just meandering about, doing nothing really. Pedro Neto, you have moments of magic. Be more consistent. Esteval, you're 18. You're doing exactly what you should be doing, even more than what you should be doing. So it's a great win for Chelsea, especially after a poor result last week. Taking into the holiday period, and then we'll see where they stand at the beginning of the new year. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you very, very soon. Peace out.